Hello, I am attorney Boyd Shepard. I'm a lawyer here in Houston, Texas, and I provide legal services, representation, and counsel to Texas dentists and hygienists. Welcome back to the LegalDental.com YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Please remember to click the red subscribe button down below and also click the notification bell to receive notifications of when there are new video uploads from LegalDental.com. In this video, I'll be discussing getting it right, the associateship agreement for employees, dentist contract negotiations. Certainly, when doctors enter into agreements, as business owners, as business people, as employees, as independent contractors, or the owners themselves, all parties involved need to have a basic understanding of contract law. You should get the advice of a professional, your attorney, a CPA. There's going to be items in the agreement that you're going to need advice on. Contracts certainly can be written, which is what is recommended, or they can be verbal, but there are several reasons why you want to get an employment or independent contractor agreement to be in writing. You memorialize the agreement and you cover certain points that should always be covered in writing. For example, to be blunt, you want to protect yourself from the other party. Each party needs to have something in writing that protects them against any changes of mind or changes of terms that the other party might present. It protects against dishonesty. Also, the writing of the agreement memorializes the terms of the relationship. There are several things that the parties could be saying verbally that become misunderstood, forgotten, misconstrued over time. If there's any misunderstanding or disagreement, you will have the written agreement to return to so that both parties can see this is what we agreed to before. Each party can address all of the issues that are typically covered in an employment or independent contractor agreement. If you try to do this verbally, there may be several things that you do cover, but there will be several things that you don't cover because you're doing it verbally. You won't have a guide or a template or a form to follow to make sure that you cover everything that should be covered in an employment relationship. Ahead of time, the strategy is to think about the terms that you want to have in the agreement, not only for yourself, but also the expectations of what you have for the other party. Getting this in writing allows you to organize your thoughts, to know what a deal breaker is versus something that can be negotiable. It allows you to establish rapport, to communicate about what's important to you and to hear what's important to the other side. And this allows each side to gain not only communication but respect for each other early on in the relationship. The points to negotiate and that you should be prepared to negotiate in any employment agreement are the following. Certainly the term of the agreement. How long is the agreement for? For how long will you be subject to the terms of this contract document? And then what happens at the end of the agreement, and how do you terminate the agreement, and so forth. Certainly compensation is always the number one or big ticket item that needs to be addressed in writing. Production, collection, daily rate, some combination, terms of payment, how often, all of this needs to be in writing. Doing it verbally is just not good enough in something this important. The State Board of Dental Examiners rules, Rule 108.8, dictates the ownership of records and specifies in the rule how records should be handled at the termination or at the end of any type of employment relationship. And so that needs to be covered in these agreements as well. There will be a need to properly characterize from the perspective of the Texas Workforce Commission as well as the IRS as to whether or not the associate is an employee or an independent contractor. This needs to be handled correctly, and you need to seek the advice of a CPA and an attorney to make sure you not only get the characterization right, but that you get the wording in the agreement correct as well. The IRS and the Workforce Commission both have criteria for determining whether or not an associate is legally an employee versus an independent contractor. You should get legal advice on that characterization. You want to be able to, in writing, set out what is expected of each other, the employer as well as the employee or associate, as far as duties and what will be provided. This will go a long way in towards that characterization of employee versus independent contractor as well. Additional items that you want to be prepared to negotiate include the specificity of the hours, vacation, benefits, sick time. All of that can be articulated in detail. What is the expectation with respect to terminating the relationship, notice period, what happens with records as well as patients in treatment at the time of termination, how long does the notice need to be for giving notice of termination. Certainly most, if not all, agreements between dentists include a non-compete covenant as well as a covenant of non-solicitation. What's important here is not only getting these clauses included, but making sure that they will be enforceable, making sure they have the correct legal language to make sure that if you're going to have agreements as to time and geographic distance, that there's also language that affects or ensures the enforceability of these covenants. This is a form I have available on my website, legaldental.com, that has 70 to 75 questions, ideas, concepts, points that need to be covered in any interview for an employment or associateship position, as well as covered in an agreement, an associateship agreement between two doctors. You don't have to ask all of these questions. You don't have to address all of these questions, but these questions are a guide that help get your mind around what should I be thinking about going into an associateship relationship. This, as well as different forms for the employment contract itself, is good to have in advance so that you're thinking about all of the concepts ahead of time in preparation for the interview, as well as negotiation of the terms. All of this is available at the legaldental.com forms website. So in summary, whether you're an employer or an employee, you will be entering into contracts over the course of your career. You need to know how to negotiate terms, as well as what to look for and how to draft, and certainly getting professional advice, professional help with the negotiation and review of these contracts is very, very important and highly recommended. Getting professional assistance from a CPA as well as an attorney will help ensure that you get the best result possible at the beginning of your relationship, and will make the relationship that much better, having confidence in the agreement that you sign off on. I hope that you have found this video to be helpful and educational. Please see the link in the description section below this video to access the forms available from legaldental.com. Please be sure to check out the additional videos here on the legaldental.com YouTube channel. Again, I ask you, please subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notifications of additional uploads from legaldental.com. I will see you then. Thank you again for watching.